Yes.
Okay, can everybody hear me okay? Let me just start by making sure that everybody can hear me okay. I'm going to assume that it is all right. Okay. All right. So Nicole will give some brief statements. Ori will make some brief statements, and then we will open it up to Q&A when they're done with that. So Nicole, I am going to hand it off to you.
Okay, great. Thank you. Good morning, everybody. So the Martinez Refining Company notified Contra Costa Health through the county's community warning system at about 9:15 a.m. of an incident of the refinery causing flaring. This community warning system notification initially came in as a level 1. Contra Costa Health also began receiving complaints from residents in the greater Martinez area about a strong chemical odor, and the odors appeared to be related to the refinery incident. Contra Costa Health Hazmat sent a response team out to investigate the incident and start performing air monitoring in the community. Right now, the information that we have around the air monitoring does not indicate that we have exceeded any published health levels. We are using levels published by the United States Environmental Protection Agency. These standards are used to determine the exposure levels at which we believe there would be a effect to public health. And so at this time, the team has gone out and taken readings at various points in Martinez, including at different elementary schools. And right now, all of our readings are not indicating that we have exceeded any of those levels. The odor is likely caused by sulfur compounds that are present in the excess gases being flared out, part of the refining process. So these gases, such as hydrogen sulfide and sulfur dioxide, have a rotten egg type of sulfur smell, which is what people will be smelling as this incident continues. And so I'll hand it off to Dr. Ori Savelli to talk about health effects and the health advisory. Thank you.
Thank you, Nicole. Nicole updated you on the information we have so far. The Martinez Refining Company has notified us of a release of sulfur-containing gases. We've had community reports of strong odors, gas-like odors, can smell sort of like what you smell when you strike a match, or rotting garbage. And those smells are in around the refinery and as far west as Crockett. We've had reports of smells. Our initial monitoring by our hazardous materials team has shown levels of hydrogen sulfide that are bothersome as far as smell is concerned, but not expected to cause a significant health hazard. More sensitive populations may, it can give you sort of a headache and irritated feeling. Our advice for people who are more sensitive to the smell is to stay indoors, close the windows and doors, and if you have a HEPA filter, please run it. It can remove these smells from the air. Our hazmat team is going to be continuing to monitor the air for both hydrogen sulfide and sulfur dioxide. We have requested assistance from the Bay Area Air Quality Management District with further air monitoring, and expect that to come online soon. Our team will continue to update the community and update the health advisory. You can check our county health website for further updates. I'll stop there and happy to take any questions.
Thank you, Nicole and Ori. So I have one so far in the Q&A section, which is where we're asking you to drop your questions. I'm going to break it up into a couple of different questions. So Nicole, maybe you can take this first one, or if you want to turn your camera off. Can you talk, Nicole, a little bit about fence line monitoring and what that shows and how that works?
Yes. So, while the refinery does have fence line monitoring and there are various monitors stationed within Martinez, these monitors are only able to detect gases, at a certain, height. So if the odors are above that height from the flaring, or they are going in a different direction than where the monitors are present, due to wind direction, that is why you could potentially see that the fence line monitors are not picking anything up, while there is clearly odors that are impacting the community, and why our hazmat team is going out and performing air monitoring at various locations to see if any readings for chemicals of concern are being picked up.
Thank you. So Ori, this one might be for you, although Nicole, if at some point you want to jump in, that would be great too. So the question is, what are people in Martinez and the surrounding area breathing, and why are monitors not detecting them? It's obviously a rancid odor that people are noticing. So what's the difference between what our monitors detect and what we're advising people to do?
Our monitors are detecting low levels of a gas called hydrogen sulfide. It is possible that there are other sulfur-containing gases in the air. We're setting up further equipment to monitor for those. So what people are smelling is probably those gases. And those gases can be a byproduct of the refining process. Generally, they should not be released. So when they're released and flared off like this, that means that there's a process upset in the refinery. We don't know what that is. We have asked the refinery for a report on what caused this problem, but we're very concerned. This facility has had, everyone probably remembers the Thanksgiving 2022 release of spent catalysts, which was investigated, and the investigation and further action were referred to the Contra Costa District Attorney's Office. Since then, there have been multiple flaring incidents, and the health department is very concerned of these ongoing events. We're going to be reaching out to have further conversations and possible further action with the facility.
Thank you. Nicole, this next one will be for you. Can you confirm we have not been notified by any injuries?
Yes, I can confirm that we have not been notified of any injuries as a result of this incident.
Okay. And anything to share about what might have caused the flares? I know we've asked for a 72-hour report, but anything that you can share there?
Yeah, at this time, the information we have indicates that there was a plant upset, which is causing the flaring. But until we have the 72-hour report in hand, we will not have more details.
So this next question also for you, Nicole, how does this compare with recent events, and how cooperative has the refinery been today?
So when we were in contact with the refinery, we did, due to the odors and the impact it was having on the community, call the refinery and request them to elevate this to a level 2 incident, which they did. And we have been able to make contact and have information from the refinery. And I think the most important piece of this process is that the refinery notified us upon the incident's beginning, which allowed our team to be able to quickly take action and assess the impacts to the community.
And just to reiterate, that was part of the reason why it was elevated to a level 2, correct?
That is correct. It was elevated to a level 2 by request from the county to MRC due to the odors.
Okay, and Nicole, I'll let you start this one, and then Ori, I might ask you to jump in a little bit about the concern regarding how many times we're seeing flaring, and how what our concerns are around there. So Nicole, can you talk a little bit about how many times we've seen flaring? We probably can't give an exact number right now, but we can get that to the media afterwards. But maybe you can talk a little bit about how often that's happening, and then Ori, if you want to jump in on that topic as well.
Yeah, so, as Kim said, I can't give any exact numbers right now, but we definitely have been seeing an increase in flaring at our facilities. And this is something that, the hazmat division is taking very seriously. And we will be working with the refinery to understand why this happened, to see what can be done to ensure that it doesn't happen again. And we will definitely be taking a very close look at this investigation and working with the Air District on this as well.
And to add to that, the health department is very concerned that these incidents are continuing to happen. In a properly functioning refinery, there should not be regular flaring. There should not be releases of catalyst and coke dust onto the community, as we have seen. So we're very concerned that there's underlying processes and safety practices at this refinery that are not up to snuff. And if you live near the refinery, if you work near the refinery, if your kids play near the refinery, it's obviously a huge concern. Nobody wants to walk around in fear of what might be dusted on their head next. So that's why we are escalating our response to this. It's not acceptable to have these ongoing releases and flaring events.
Nicole, this next one is for you. If you can talk a little bit about how and why flaring occurs, and then if you can talk a little bit about sort of the trend we've seen in increased flarings and sort of how long, when we sort of started to notice that trend, what kind of time frame we're looking at.
Sorry, Kim, there was a lot of parts to that question. Can we start with the first part again?
Yes, absolutely. Can you talk a little bit about why flaring occurs? Just talk a little bit about, sort of the technicality of flaring.
Sure. So, flaring is meant to be, utilized as a safety device. So in a refinery, they are dealing with converting, oils into different gases. This requires lots of equipment being run at high temperature and high pressure. And so I always like to equate this kind of to, if you have a pressure cooker at home, right? If you have your pressure cooker at home, you know that the temperature is building up inside, that there is, vapor and gas being built up inside. And that's why you have a safety valve to release off of the gas before you open it. It's the same thing with a refinery vessel. When there are upsets to the refineries, and they are not able to handle that excess pressure, it needs a safe place to go. And that is really what flaring is meant to be used for. However, we are seeing, more increased flaring reports coming in, which indicates that these units are having issues more often, which can be seen as maybe potentially a symptom of something that needs to be looked into deeper. And again, I don't have any numbers to quantify, but, I can already tell you that I know the last flaring event happened at MRC on November 29th. That involved 4 flares. So, just the trends that we have been seeing is that, it appears that almost weekly, monthly, we are seeing flaring reports coming out from these facilities. And then Kim, if there was another part that I didn't address, sorry.
Nope, that was it, Nicole.
Okay, thank you.
Those are all the questions I have in the Q&A right now. I'll make a last call for any other questions. So one more question, Nicole, this one again for you. Will there be a fine? Can you talk a little bit about how that works?
Yeah, so when we get the 72-hour report, our team will be able to investigate the incident and see if there are any regulatory non-compliances as a result of this. If we find that and see that there is a need to make a referral to the DA, we will, which could result in fines. But again, we will not know until we have more information from the 72-hour report and the resulting incident investigation.
I'm not sure that you'll be able to answer this one, but it seems there might be some reports from the community that homes are shaking. Would there be any reason why that would be, Nicole, that you'd know? I don't want us to.
I don't have any information to provide on that, Kim, sorry.
Nope, that's what I thought. So Nicole, again, for you, don't go away so quickly. Maybe talk a little bit about compliance issues and how the process would go in terms of, shutting down a facility or how we would work with a facility. We're already obviously working with MRC, but what would be sort of the next steps in terms of trying to get compliance from this facility?
Yeah, so, as a regulatory agency, obviously, one of our first steps is to try and educate and work with the facility to bring them into compliance. If that is not working, we do have various tools that are available to us, which certainly enforcement is one of them. If in certain cases where there are incidents at refineries that are designated major chemical accidents or releases, then the industrial safety ordinance also provides us with a lot of different tools to also bring about compliance and do independent reports. And then, in very serious cases, I do believe that, our health officer, and maybe Ori can speak more to that, would have some authority over the refinery and their operations.
Ori, did you want to jump in here?
I think it's premature to talk about today's incident until we have more information from the investigation. But we are very committed to investigating this fully and understanding the causes and working with the facility to have safer practices. Because as I said, this level of flaring releases is not acceptable to our community.
Thank you. Nicole, can you walk through one more time sort of the timeline? When did the flaring start? When did we get notified, and has it stopped? And do we anticipate seeing more of that, more flaring today?
Yeah, so we were notified at approximately 9:15 a.m. Of the flaring. The flaring is expected to be continuous, and I believe that we expect flaring to continue throughout the day today. We sent out our hazardous materials response team right after receiving the 9:15 notification, and at about 10:21 today requested the refinery to elevate the level 1 to a level 2.
Thank you. So KGO, you're asking about level 2 and what are the health ramifications. The health advisory that we issued is based on a level 2 incident. So Ori, do you want to talk really quickly about what the health advisory says and what we're advising?
Sure. A level 2 incident is an incident that is expected to have some impact on the community, usually not on everyone, but on sensitive populations. So in this case, with the strong odors, people who have more respiratory sensitivity are more prone to headaches, may feel the effects of that. And that's why we elevated this to a level 2, because we were getting a lot of concern from different parts of our community. And we wanted, until we had the actual readings of the level of hydrogen sulfide and sulfur dioxide gas, we wanted to be better safe than sorry and just let people know that they have the opportunity to go inside, close the windows and doors, and run their HEPA filters, if that would help. So we wanted to get the word out to the community on that. Since we issued the level 2, we got our initial readings, which were somewhat reassuring. The level of gas that we saw for the hydrogen sulfide gas is at a level where we're not expecting a significant health impact, but we are expecting it to be sort of an irritating odor. We are still waiting for readings on sulfur dioxide gas, and we're setting up equipment to get those readings. So stay tuned for more information on our website. We will update the community when we have those further readings and when we feel that the incident is stabilized enough to downgrade the health advisory, we will do so. So stay tuned on our website for that.
Thank you for that, Ori. Our website is cchealth.org, and there is a banner at the top that will continue to carry the latest information about this. Nicole, I wonder if you could walk people through the difference between a level 1, level 2, level 3 incident.
Sure, Kim. So in our community warning system, actually, in our hazardous materials incident notification policy, we have defined 3 different levels for hazardous materials releases. So a level 1 release is a release in which we expect the incident to have no offsite consequences, or if there is offsite consequences, those offsite consequences would not have an impact to public health, and there is no need for the public to take any action. It is a notification only level that alerts the hazmat team to an event going on at one of our facilities and allows us to be able to take action and follow up. A level 2 event is an event which has offsite consequences, and we believe that part of the offsite consequences will have an impact to public health for those who have sensitivities. So whether that's a sensitivity due to a medical condition or to your age, and we are notifying those people with sensitivities that they might want to take action, such as staying inside and shutting their doors and windows, shutting off their HVAC systems, using a HEPA filter. And then a level 3, so that one is for people to take action if you are falling within that sensitive population. And there are notifications that go out to the community when we have that. We have the health advisory on our website, and also text messages and emails go out for that. And then we have our level 3 incident, which is the highest level of incident that can occur. That incident will have the community warning system siren sound so that everyone knows that they need to immediately shelter in place. This type of incident is having such an offsite impact that everyone with that neighboring community will potentially see health impacts. And so we use all of the tools available to us. We have information on our website. We're using reverse 911, text message, emails, phone calls are going out to make sure that everyone knows that they need to shelter in place at that time.
Thank you, Nicole. That was helpful. So we didn't plan it this way, but today we also launched a survey to hear a little bit more from our community about what kind of information they want shared specifically to level 1 notifications, which at this point don't carry any automatic notification. We often do some community notification based on level 1 incidents, but it's not automatic the way others are. So Nicole, do you want to talk a little bit about the survey and sort of what we're looking for there?
Sure, Kim, thank you. Yeah, so, as we have seen more and more incidents, especially these level 1 flaring incidents occur within our community, we are really trying to gauge what type of incidents the community would like to be notified and how best we can notify the community so that we can get the information out there, even when there is no action that needs to be taken by a person as a result of the incident. Sorry. And so we are looking through the survey to gain feedback from people and, help understand what type of information they're looking for, what type of incidents they'd like to be notified about, and also just gauge people's general familiarity with our community warning system. Thank you.
That was super helpful. So give me 1 second. Okay, I'm gonna call one last time on Ori to see if he wants to sort of make a closing statement because I don't see any other. Oh, go ahead, Ori, and then it looks like we might have some other questions about the survey, but go ahead, Ori.
Thank you, Kim. Yeah, I think I appreciate people tuning in. I know that many in our community are very concerned about what's going on. And our priority at the health department is the health of our community. We will not rest until we know the causes of these events, and we'll do what is necessary to make sure that these incidents don't keep happening. We really, really don't want to see more of these events going on. They have an impact on our community's physical health. They have an impact on our cancer rates, on our longevity, on our mental health. And so it's very important that the facility and other facilities in our county that work with hazardous materials and chemicals take these events seriously and do everything they can to operate safely and conscientiously to keep our community healthy.
Thank you for that. Allie, I do see your list of questions. I think it would be best if you would email those questions to publicinfo@cchealth.org. They're pretty detailed, and we would like to answer them, but I don't think that this is the best forum for doing that. So, if it's all right with you, I will ask you to shoot those questions to that email address. Kayla, can you drop that email address in the chat so that anybody who has follow-up questions can do that? I will ask for, yeah, I'm going to usurp them. I just think it would be better. They're super detailed questions. So we will get back to you in writing on the answers to those questions. So thank you for that. And thank you for being willing to accommodate us in that way. All right. I don't see any other questions. I'll make one last call on questions from the press, and then we will call it good. Okay. You all know how to find us. So if you have any follow-up questions, please don't hesitate to let me know, and we will do our best to get back to you in a timely manner, as we always do. So thank you so much. Continue to look at our website, cchealth.org, for any additional updates.